We have entered the most critical period in the war between Ukraine and Russia. One after another news is coming from the front line, which has been mobilized with the start of the Ukrainian counteroffensive. The Russian army is facing a major disaster. According to the latest reports, the Ukrainian counteroffensive is concentrated in at least 3 sectors of the front line. These 3 sectors include Bakhmut, the Zaporizhia front line, and the eastern side of Kherson. So what is the latest situation? Let's take a look at the latest developments on the map. Russian sources recently published an information message. According to this message, south of Orikhiv, the Ukrainian army has launched a new offensive in the direction of Robotyne. In the information published on Telegram, it is understood that the Russian sources are very uneasy about the developments. According to the Russian sources, armored vehicles of the Ukrainian army entered Russian trenches. It is claimed that Ukraine has established dominance in several regions. Robotyne region is located about 15 kilometers south of Orikhiv. As you can see on the map, Robotyne is right in the middle of both Vasylivka and Polohy. Therefore, we can say that the offensive activities in the region should be scrutinized very carefully. The capture of this region by the Ukrainian army will affect Russia's authority between 2 important regions of Polohy and Vasylivka. According to reports from local sources, the Ukrainian counteroffensive in the region is more intense than previous offensives. It is also reported that Russian troops in the region have suffered heavy losses so far. We can say that clashes have intensified, especially in the forest areas in the region. About 110 kilometers from Robotyne is the city of Berdyansk. Berdyansk, an important coastal and port city, is also among the points targeted by the Ukrainian army in recent days. In our previous reports, we have mentioned that the importance of the Ukrainian army's attacks behind the front line. It is worth recalling this importance again. As you know, the Russian-occupied cities of Berdyansk, Mariupol, and Melitopol are of a great importance for the delivery of the equipments needed by the Russian troops on the front line. The Ukrainian army has been exerting great pressure on these 3 important cities for a long time. Many points in these 3 cities, especially Russian military bases, have been repeatedly hit by the Ukrainian army with the Storm Shadow missiles. According to the latest reports, a new missile attack was launched towards Berdyansk. Local sources have reported numerous explosions across the city. As in previous attacks, Russian military installations are among the targets hit. Hanna Maliar, deputy minister of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, also made a statement on the latest developments on both Berdyansk and Melitopol. According to Maliar's statement, the Ukrainian army's work in the 2 cities continues. Maliar summarized the latest situation in the 2 cities, stating that the Ukrainian army's attacks in the region were partially successful. On the other hand, Ukrainian operations against the occupied Crimean Peninsula continue unabated. In recent days, news that shocked Russia came from Crimean Peninsula one after another. 2 important supply lines in the Crimean Peninsula were successfully blown up by Ukrainian artillery. One of these supply lines is the Chonhar Bridge. As you can see on the map, the Chonhar Bridge is an important position connecting Crimea with the Ukrainian mainland. The Ukrainian army recently hit this bridge with a Storm Shadow missile and rendered it unusable. As you can see on the map, the Chonhar Bridge is the route of E-105 highway. After the bridge was rendered unusable by the missile attack of the Ukrainian army, the traffic flow here was completely stopped. Traffic in the region has been diverted to Armyansk about 100 kilometers away, until an undetermined date. Another heavy blow to Russia was a stroke of Feodosia. Just like in Berdyansk and Mariupol, Feodosia has a railroad line that sends Russian shipments to frontline. The equipments brought here by Russian ships supplied the Russian troops on the front line, including the Russian troops stationed in Crimea. However, with the missile attack by the Ukrainian army, this railroad line has become largely unusable. So far, Russian sources have not made a statement on the issue. When we look at the images shared by local sources, it is seen that the damage is extensive. Developments in Crimea are not limited to this. We can say that the Ukrainian army will start implementing a new strategy towards Crimea. In recent days, we have been observing an increasing military activity of the Ukrainian army towards Crimea. One of the targets of these military activities is Sevastopol, In the past few days, a fleet of several pieces of the Russian Navy sailing off the coast of Sevastopol was destroyed by the Ukrainian army. In recent days, local sources have reported numerous explosions in Sevastopol. However, no confirmed information has been received so far. In the north, the Ukrainian army has managed to advance in several areas. The blue-colored area you see on the map is Krasnohorivka. In Krasnohorivka, a region where there have been hot clashes between Ukrainian and Russian troops in recent days, the Ukrainian army has managed to gain the upper hand. Ukraine has regained control of region. According to reports from local sources, Ukrainian artillery operations to the east of the region continue. In fact, these artillery attacks are a kind of softening up operation. In this way, Ukrainian troops aim to break the power of Russian troops on the line of advance. We can say that it will be possible to see new advances in the coming days. Now let's turn our attention to Bakhmut. One of the important points that Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Maliar mentioned in her statements was the city of Bakhmut. The Ukrainian army's operations within the scope of the operation to encircle Bakhmut continue unabated. We see that the general situation on the Bakhmut line is stable. However, we can say that the tactical superiority is in favor of Ukraine for the moment. Because at many important points surrounding the city, there are many Ukrainian elite units, especially Ukrainian special forces. We anticipate significant developments in the region once Ukraine's comprehensive Bakhmut offensive is fully launched. Ukrainian artillery is also preparing for this comprehensive offensive. In recent days, a Russian convoy moving north of Bakhmut was blown up by Ukrainian artillery. The convoy was carrying a large number of tactical munitions. Among the Russian munitions detected so far are 2 D-20 Howitzer systems. The Marinka region is also among the fronts where the Ukrainian army has achieved successes. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian troops managed to enter within 1 kilometer of the city of Marinka. The Ukrainian army continues to establish a buffer zone. What do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian counteroffensive is progressing successfully? Do you think Ukrainian artillery has a critical role to play? Do you think we could see a major offensive against Crimea? What are your thoughts on the Ukrainian advance? We care about your opinion. Please share them with us.